Well, this is nice to get together.
It is. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Louis. It's been a long time.
How many years have we been doing this together?
Louis,
It's almost 30, right?
Yeah, I've been here 30 Christmases.
That's right.
So
that's how you measure.
You know, that's how I measure, because I have actually provided supplies, gifts, whatever our population needed, whatever our participants needed, 30 years ago.
30 years.
30 years ago.
So how did you end up coming here?
Well, first I was a volunteer when we were Tri-City Homeless Coalition, if you can remember that far back.
That was back at the
Dakota Road
site. Yeah.
Yes,
It was the
Dakota
St. Vincent de
Road.
Paul building, right?
That's right.
And it was a state-of-the-art kitchen, right?
Oh, yeah,
It was
sure.
amazing setup. It was really easy.
What
was that like, actually?
It was really hard. The stove worked sometime. We had a couple of burners, the refrigerators. It was just really, really sad. So just to build Sunrise Village is just so wonderful, not only for the volunteers, but for, for our participants that are living in this wonderful building. What a change. I didn't know at that time that I was stepping into my purpose. I was stepping into the purpose of what I should be doing and the people I should be helping. So I look back over those past 30 years and I don't regret it.
So when I came here, we were just moving in here, and I think of my first impression of you was, oh yeah, this is a colleague, this is a comrade in a place, in getting this place in order. And we didn't have everything we needed.
Well, because the need was there, and we didn't have enough volunteers to cover, we do 3 meals a day here at Sunrise Village, and there was not enough volunteers.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So what did you do?
Well, what Tri-City Homeless Coalition had in the beginning was a few good volunteers that were passionate and strong about what we needed. Like you said in the beginning, I was cooking, I was doing children's program, and then, I would go out and speak to a corporate group, come back in, take off my suit, put on my apron, and cook a meal.
How many years did it take to get to the point where you're no longer cooking? There are actually more than enough volunteers. You're actually having to put them on a wait list. Right?
Yes.
To cook.
Yes.
How many years did that take?
You know what? It did take a couple of years because they had to get to know us and to trust that, we were not just a fly-by-night nonprofit.
Right. And we figured out pretty quickly it wasn't adequate, that people needed housing options. So we created slowly, because it didn't happen as fast as we wanted, but we created these housing options for people, and then just grew. And now we're in 7 counties, and we do more work than any other organization in the Bay Area, actually, to do this. And but that's massive change, right? So I've always appreciated your willingness to be patient with that and to adapt to that. So
it's been good. But Louis, I have to say, you're a good visionary. You really are, and
well, thank you.
I feel honored, privileged to work with you all these years. So what brought you over? What brought you to the agency?
When I was young, I decided I wanted to do work that made the world better. It's not that complicated. And lived out of the area for a little bit with my new wife, and then came back here, and there was this job, the program director here at what was called then the Tri-City Homeless Coalition, which described the organization at the time because it was only serving 3 cities, Newark, Fremont, and Union City. And it was a coalition of people, volunteers and churches, and it was focused on homeless people. But we changed our name, as you know, to Abode Services to really focus on the solution. And I took that program director job, had it for a year and a half. That's when you and I worked together very closely.
Really close.
Because that's when it was like, okay, we're going to take this chaos and make this place work.
That's right.
And then it was after that, my predecessor, Tom Bolin, great guy, and he moved on and recommended me to the board as a new executive director, and I said yes. A couple years, we sort of got better, a little better every year, I think, right?
We did.
And then remember we got the big United Way grants? There were 3 grants that we got. We're a dinky little organization. They gave us 3 grants because we spent all this time.
Yes.
3 major, changed us completely.
Yeah.
Because then we had the resources. We were able to say, okay, this isn't good enough. And the board and people like you and me started to think about what we could really do to change people's lives, to really transform their lives by giving them a home, so they could, do all the other things they want to do. And finally, we sort of broke through. People started seeing, wow, they're actually making a difference. They're actually every year getting more and more people into their own homes. But nonetheless, when we started thinking about people's possibilities, changed everything. And it's been a good place to work ever since, I think.
So, Louis, we were such a small organization when we started. How many people do you think we had here?
So my recollection is we had around 12, 13 employees. And then we had, because this was our only program at the very beginning, it was 66 people. That's the maximum amount for occupancy here. And now we have, we're serving 16,000 people a year.
Wow.
And our staff is 675 staff members in 7 different counties. And I do run into people all the time that worry about, are you abandoning stuff you started with? No, absolutely not. It's just as important. It's just in this work, unlike a lot of work, we have so much to do to solve the problem. We have a moral obligation to grow. I mean, that's how I've always seen it.
Yeah.
So you can't just sit back and go, okay, we did it, because we sure the heck haven't. I mean, there's so much more to do.
It's so important, that we continue to grow. I know I hear a lot from our different donors that will come in, and they would say, oh, I hear that you have a new housing site that's going up. I passed by it, I saw it. And that's great. That's a good feeling for them also to know that we're growing, that we're helping. We're trying to create more housing in the community.
I think we have more to offer people who support us.
No.
It's never been boring in this organization.
No, it has not been. And as we change, I have to say, the both of us, we've changed with it. And like I said, it's been an honor and a privilege to work with you, all the staff here at Abode Services, and let's keep it going.
If I had a drink in my hand, I would toast you right now.
Okay, and me too.